What's up, everybody? Tommy C here. Glory Hunter Rants. Rant today is going to be on Team USA. It's about 48 hours after the defeat to Paraguay. And of course, the big story is Mr. Berhalter here. And I went to think about it. It's easy to yell, fire Gregg on the way out the door when you're pissed off. But I was trying to, all right, is it the right move? Is it the wrong move? I'm trying to see past the fandom, make a rational decision. And I think I've come to one. He's being called the American Southgate. At the time, I was okay with bringing him back, and I'll tell you why. He was either brought back to avoid a lawsuit, or he was brought back because we couldn't allow people to use cancel culture-like tactics, relationship issues from 30 years ago, as a way to extract revenge for a coaching decision. USA Soccer doesn't take it back. They open the door to that. For you Europeans out there, USA Soccer is not run like the FA over here or even the DFB, Italy. It is run by extremely obnoxious, rich, not that all rich people are terrible, Kid Olympic types. When I say Kid Olympics, it's like, oh, little Johnny walk before he turned one. Those types. Wine moms. Hence, soccer mom. Soccer mom is rarely said in a positive way in the United States. I've lived away from the United States for almost 20 years now, and I don't miss them. So keep that in mind. In fact, if I had to guess, one of the reasons we haven't been able to move soccer more in the inner cities, probably so we could, increase the pool, is probably because of them. And the other problem is the inner cities see soccer players or football players as when I was a kid, was called foot fairies. Yes. Terrible language, I know. But that's how it's seen. That's a fact. That's how it's seen. That's why they brought him back. I agree with it. To set a terrible precedent. Maybe it was to avoid a lawsuit. Either way, it doesn't matter. But should he have been fired? Good question. The reason the sort of blackmailing attempt took place against him, with Gio Reyna not starting, probably the best reason to fire him. Just that alone. Forget all the stuff that went after that. Gio belonged in that lineup. It was illogical not to do that. He should have been fired right after World Cup. They should have parted ways. Get why they brought him back? Should have fired him for that alone. It was a bad coaching decision. A coaching decision that I want to reinforce he had absolutely the right to make. He's the guy they put in charge. That's it. And Gio and Claudio and that wacky mom of his should have shut up. But that's not how they do things in USA Soccer. That's not how it rolls. Wine moms in charge. Hell hath no fury like a soccer mom. Now we're faced with the reality of being bounced out of the Copa by Uruguay. I mean, the bare minimum situation would be like beat Panama, beat Bolivia, better beat Bolivia. And you can afford to lose to Uruguay, which is a very good team. Lots of stars. Liverpool's star striker, Darwin Núñez, great player. And then you go from there, you get a Brazil or something like that, and you do your best. I think that's a reasonable situation. We didn't even achieve that, which got me thinking, this is supposed to be like the best group of American youngsters ever. I think you might be able to say that. There's no MLS players on the team. Good chunk of these guys play for Big Five leagues. If they don't, play for Netherlands or the Championship, which is practically a Big Five league. It's one of the best leagues in all of Europe. The Europe's second league is so much better than everybody else's second league. That's another video for another time. And then we talk about the old fogies. You know what I'm talking about. Tab Ramos, Lexi Lawless, those guys. All right, they were breaking in. They were to qualify the World Cup, all right? They beat Colombia. You know how that went. They broke down the door. Next generation, the Donovans, Clint Dempsey's. They came with a handball of getting into the semifinals in 2002. A World Cup that was probably fixed, by the way. I don't know. I don't know if they missed the handball or not. One of the most corrupt go look it up. Don't take my word for it. One of the most corrupt World Cups ever. Very few of those guys didn't play for MLS. And they've done better than the crop of guys we have now. Well, you start to think more talent now, bigger league guys now, doing less, regressing. What do? How could it not be Berhalter? How? What experience does he have? What has he done in the past that's proven that he's the guy to be a big-time international football coach? Look, I'm all for giving the Americans a chance. Bruce Arena did a great job. But, I mean, Bruce Arena, he completely unlocked the keys to MLS. What has Berhalter done? He's taken the biggest, most talented, supposedly, group of guys and made them regress to in between the Lawless and the Donovan generation. Gotta go. I don't know why you don't bring in somebody else. Now I'm hearing talk of Jurgen Klopp coming in. I can't believe he would do that. Jurgen Klopp, actually, I live in Wiesbaden, Germany. He actually just moved across the street. Not across the street, but he's here. He built this house and he's just going to boogie to the States. I don't see that. He has that place in Spain now. I don't see that. Better chance of him taking over Germany after Nagelsmann leaves after this tournament. Much better chance of that. Maybe go big, bring a guy in that does have those kind of qualifications, because I think that's the only thing left, attracting somebody with those qualifications. And I don't mean bringing a former talented player. I'm bringing somebody that either has the international experience or has accomplished things like won Champions Leagues in Europe. I think it's the only thing left. I mean, at this point, I'd rather have BJ Callahan, New Jersey native, not a relative. What more do we need? We've saw what Berhalter can do. We've seen it. It's there. This is it. This is where we're going. He cannot get out of the group stages of the Copa America with the most talented squad. He cannot get past the round of 16 in the World Cup with the most talented squad in the Americans have ever had. I mean, you can say Timothy Weah, and I do think they get out without. I'll give him this: Timothy Weah, no red card, they get out. I'm pretty sure anyway. I think they. So I mean, yeah, I can't blame Berhalter for that. Nobody can. But is he beating Brazil? Is he beating Uruguay? Probably not. Probably not. So I'm not going to sit there and beat the drum and act crazy. He's got to go and like everybody else. But I think it's, and I do it too. Sports reporters and personalities and stuff, they're here to entertain you. I was trying to look at this as, intelligently, as level-headed as I possibly could. There's nowhere to go in the future with this guy. He has given you what he can give you. I don't even think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's even a bad coach. How about that? Probably not for this level. He's probably a second, third league coach in Europe, MLS coach. Maybe, if he spoke Spanish, he could get some lower team in Liga MX. He's not that level. He's not. I hate to be doing another Jersey boy dirty like this, because let me tell you something. Jersey holds up USA soccer traditionally. Yeah, I said it. True. But there's nowhere else to go. And our talent level has hit a certain point where you probably have to bring in more talented coaches. And I don't want Thierry Henry. And I don't want some former great. I want a guy that's succeeded, not just on the pitch, but as a coach. And you know, if you can pull a guy like Jurgen Klopp, I'm all for it, but I don't know. And there's always a chance that Jurgen Klopp's actually done. Dunzo. I mean, I have a little trouble believing that. I think, you know, I went through COVID. You spend too much time with your wife, you're going to want to. I think a lot of guys figured out, you know, I don't like this woman I got married during COVID. Well, I don't know. I really shouldn't say that. But, I mean, guys, what I really should say is guys that are competitive like him, they're not going to last very long. But I just, why wouldn't he stay in Germany? From what I understand, I checked, does he have to be near Berlin to do this job? No, he can do it right here in Wiesbaden. He's not going to the States, so you forget that. I don't even want, I mean, he won a Champions League with a stacked team. I don't even want Zidane. I want a guy that's like a pure coach. I would take Tata Martino. You know, because at least he's won MLS championships and he knows how to deal with big personalities. It's clear. He barely speaks English. I want a guy, not Jurgen Klinsmann, that was a great player, a proven guy on the field. No, a proven guy, proven coach. That was one. That's what I want. That's what I'm paid for. That's big money. That's hundreds of millions. I get it. It's the only way it goes forward. You know, a lot of the players, I mean, I had one of the ultra glory hunters in the server blame Christian Pulisic for kind of supporting Gregg when he came back. I don't know about that. That's another story for another time. But him and the boys love him. Our boys love him. They love him. Maybe that's the problem. Our older guys won and hated their coaches. They absolutely despise them as human beings. And, you know, there's all that, you know, sometimes the coach, I know hockey coaches do this. They have this sort of us against them mentality. It unites the group. Maybe it's not a good, I've never been a player coach guy. I don't care if the guy's a prick. I don't know what I'd do what that Mike Babcock did in the NHL and started taking their phones and stuff. I'm not for that. But yeah, being tough. Setting a precedent that I make the decisions and you're not entitled to be here, and having that kind of environment. Yeah, I'm all for it. Being a tough old bastard. Yeah, I'm sorry. Fear works. It motivates. And if you don't think you're going to be here, there's a pretty good chance you're going to fight a little harder. So, yeah, I want a proven guy that's a prick. And I think that's fair. I do. I don't think it's unreasonable at all. All right. Look out for more content on the Glory Hunters. Be like, sub, and share. We want to become a Glory Hunter or upload content, join the Discord, get to know us. Send us a submission via Google. We'll take a look at it. We like it, we'll post it. This is a community project. Podcasts, live streams, football gaming content, FM or FIFA or FC, FM or FC, do it all. You make it interesting videos on match attacks, I'll take you too. And I appreciate you listening to my rant. Please like and share and sub. Like and sub. Stick around. We got a lot of different types of football content. Please.